Welcome to Messy Liberation, the podcast that dives deep into feminism, business, and personal growth. I'm Becky Mollenkamp.
And I'm Taina Brown. Get ready for another messy conversation through the eyes of two intersectional feminist coaches.
Let's get messy.
Hello. Welcome to a very special episode of Messy Liberation because we have a guest today.
We do.
Tell them who you are.
Hi, this is me, Gus. I am the special guest.
This is Gus, the special guest. He is my 8-year-old son, and he has been wanting to learn about podcasting and try podcasting and has lots of thoughts about what it means to be a young person in the world today, right?
Yep.
All right. So we're going to have him join us for a little special discussion. We don't exactly know where this will go, but we'll see.
It'll be messy, and that's the whole point.
That's right. There's no mistakes here, Gus.
Point.
That's right.
Yeah.
What did you want to talk about, Gus?
Mostly like racism and how it's a problem, other bad things like Donald Trump. All of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you know about racism?
Like loads of things.
Like what?
Like bad words, like actions, all that.
Well, what is racism?
Racism is something bad to Black people.
Okay, yeah, that's one way of looking at it. It's when people think badly about other people because of how they look.
Yeah, and how they would feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that happen at school?
No, not a lot.
Okay. That's good.
Like on rare occasions.
On the rare occasions, there has been some stuff that's happened.
Yeah, really rare, but yeah.
Okay. And you have at your school, you have kids of all different colors, right?
Yeah, loads.
Yeah, which is great. He goes to a very diverse school, one of the most diverse elementary schools in Missouri and in our region in St. Louis.
What do you think makes people do or say racist things, Gus?
I don't really know. It's like their choice of acts and their choice of their like decisions, feelings, like, and how they would all do, how they would all feel.
Mm-hmm.
So because of how they feel?
Yes. Like,
What do you think makes somebody racist? You're not racist, so what do you think makes someone else be racist?
I don't really know.
I wish I knew too.
If you could talk to Donald Trump about racism, what do you think you would say?
Stop. Like, make people stop being racist.
How do you think he could do that?
Like, make a law, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There would just be like a fine, something like
Okay.
$50, not much.
$50.
$50 for every racist word or act.
Well, if you do it like 10 times in a row, you'll get like a fee, something like that.
Something bigger?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's one proposal. Do you think he'll go for it?
Probably not.
No, either. I don't think so either. Yeah. If you saw someone doing something or saying something that was racist at your school, what would you do?
Tell grown up, something like that. Probably like report it to like the principal, something like that.
Yeah. What do you think the principal would do?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you've never done it, so I guess you don't know, huh? I'm curious what the consequences would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you learn about race?
Probably like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Do you remember how?
No, not really. So I remember it was like in first grade.
What about kindergarten, though? You went to school and you saw kids that were different colors than you in kindergarten.
I know. I felt that, like, I didn't know that many words at that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
A word. Yeah.
So you just knew people looked different.
Yeah.
But you didn't know anything else about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's pretty normal.
If you had a friend who said or did something racist, do you think you would feel comfortable talking to them about it?
probably only for like a certain amount of time.
Okay.
Then it just gets kind of awkward.
Yeah, it can be awkward to have conversations like that.
It can be. Do you think any of your friends would do that?
Not too sure. No, they could.
Would you want?
It's their decisions of life.
Yeah. Would you want to be friends with people that were racist?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I wouldn't either. Yeah. And your school, they teach you guys about character words. Tell us what those are.
Yeah.
Respectful, responsible, caring, and persevere.
Okay.
What about one that you missed out on that means you do the right thing even when no one's looking?
Oh yeah, integrity.
Integrity. Yeah, that's a good one. So
Yeah.
character words are words that describe how you should behave. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you think those relate to things like if you saw someone being racist? How would the character words help you?
Integrity.
Mm.
You need to show integrity when no one's looking.
Yep. That was one of my favorite ones. Perseverance is new this year.
Yeah, we got empathetic. Even though in the lunchroom, there's still.
The empathetic sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because empathetic was a lot like caring, wasn't it? So they decided to make them the same. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think empathetic or caring, what do those mean?
Empathetic. I forgot what that one was. We got rid of it.
Yeah. What was caring mean?
Caring means like being nice all the time. That's practically the good side of racism.
The opposite.
Bad side. Yeah.
Opposite of racism. Yeah. So empathetic means thinking about how someone else feels. So that might apply to racism too, right? Because if someone was being mean to somebody, you could think about how it might make them feel. How do you think it makes somebody feel? Like if one of your Black friends, how do you think it would make them feel if somebody said something really mean about them just because they were Black?
Crying in the corner of the room.
Yeah. That would probably make me feel that way too. Yeah. So
do you think you would defend them?
Probably, yes.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
No, until that guy like quit.
Until he quit doing it?
Yes.
Stop being racist? Yeah. I think that's important. The other thing that we talked about that you said you want to talk about once was about pride.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you know about pride?
Pride. Well, there's two versions of pride. One, like gay people.
Yeah.
And two, like pride, you know? Like you're having sympathy, pride.
Being proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the other one, about the LGBTQ pride. What do you know about that?
Well, I know some people are gay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could get made fun of, which is just like two bad things combined. Racism and LGBT.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
LGBTQ.
Yes.
Yeah. It is something.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll get them all. Yeah. So, yeah, they could be made fun of for being gay?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Like they could.
But is it right to do that?
It's not.
No.
It's not,
Yeah, I didn't understand what you were saying like that.
That's okay. I got it. Yeah. So you have friends who have two moms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's important for you to think about that.
Yeah.
There are some kids in your school that I've noticed and on YouTube who say a word and they use it as an insult.
Well,
remember we've talked about
screw
that?
them.
Screw them. I agree. But we have to learn not to do that, right? So if your friends use that word and say it as an insult, you know which word I'm talking about that your friends sometimes use? What can you say to them?
No. Just no.
Just don't do that.
No.
Yeah. Because what does your mom tell you when I've heard somebody say that? Do you remember what I've said?
No.
No. Good. Well, that worked really well. I said that
I don't even remember anything.
I said you have friends whose parents are gay. Remember? And I said, how do you think it would make your friends feel if they heard that?
Oh, now I remember.
Yeah.
Really bad mostly.
Yeah, it would make them feel bad. So we can't do that.
Like sort of like crying in the corner room.
Exactly. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you brought up a really good point earlier, Gus, about how sometimes you can be racist and homophobic, like be prejudiced or biased against gay people at the same time. So like if there's a Black person who's also gay or part of the LGBTQ community, you can act in a way, or it's not you, but some people might act in a way towards that person that is both racist and homophobic. And then that really makes things complicated because they're not just being mean to that person or judging that person based on how they look, but also how they live their life and who they choose to love. Versus if you have someone who is white and is gay, right? Someone could be just homophobic to that person, but not racist to that person, right? And so then it gets a little complicated as we get to know about different people and different cultures.
Yeah, because do you know, what are other things that people get made fun of for?
Normally like being weird, like at my school. Mainly because like people don't like them as much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You have kids with disabilities at your school. Do they get made fun of?
No.
Good.
It's good.
Sometimes
Good to hear.
that can happen. That's something that people sometimes have, that you can discriminate. Do you know what discriminate means?
No.
Hard word to describe, isn't it? Pick on someone because of something about them.
Oh.
Right? And so that, we talked about race as one thing. We talked about queer, gay, right? That's another. Disabilities, something that people will get discriminated against. Being fat, that's something that people get discriminated against.
That doesn't happen a lot at school.
Not at your school? Good.
Good.
Religion, people who have different religions, like kids who are Jewish or Muslim, or that doesn't happen either. That's great. It sounds like your school's doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys can continue to do a good job.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Maybe you can be a part of that. What changes would you like to see in the world?
I would like to see peace, no war, no more. No making fun of people for like differences. Mainly all of that.
I would love that too.
Give the poor some home.
Yeah.
Give them food, give them water.
Yeah. When we see people out on the streets who don't have homes, what do you always want to do?
Spare some change.
Yeah. You always give the money, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's not really, is it fair that some people don't have homes?
No, it's not.
No, I agree. I don't think that's fair either.
Like, sometimes you just get kicked out of their house.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah, and they find nowhere to go.
Yeah. So maybe we could help them.
Yeah.
If you were in charge, that's what you would do?
Yes.
What else would you do if you were in charge?
I don't really know from this point.
It doesn't have to just be like big things. It could be little fun things.
Oh! I'd make water slides, like from normal slides. Like, you would be allowed to, like, at a school, bring like a bucket of water, shove it down a slide, boom.
That would be
Boom, water slide.
Very fun.
Instant water slide.
What about tell her your business idea for Nerf?
Oh yeah, I have this business idea for Nerf. Like, there's like, if you have a reservation for it, you can come. But if you don't, you can just pay money to get in. It's a really nice.
And then what do we do once you're inside?
Well, you pick a team. Or you can just watch, You can chill in one of the garages, which has all the Nerf bullets, Nerf guns.
And have like a battle?
Yes.
A Nerf battle?
Yeah. That brings up something else, though, about guns. What are your thoughts about guns?
Ban from this world.
Ban them from the world. Real ones only have Nerf guns.
Without real guns, Nerf wouldn't really exist.
What wouldn't exist?
Nerf.
Oh, that might be true, huh?
Because, it could be expired. Inspired, sorry.
Oh, inspired by
real guns, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a very logical conclusion.
So do you not want to ban guns?
No, maybe in, some states, yes.
Not yours. Couldn't we just ban the real guns and not the Nerf guns?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make up this brand called Nerf. I'll go back in time. Stop guns from being invented. If I see that inventor, I swear, I'm just gonna kick him in the face.
Well, that seems awfully mean.
Yeah, but still, no. Just no.
Stop him.
It's
Try to stop him.
Sir,
No, sir.
lifetime in jail, sir.
Why do you think it was a man who invented guns?
It could be a girl. It's I don't know.
I don't either, but I think you're right. I have a feeling it was a
Yeah,
man.
probably.
It feels like something a man would invent, but who knows? I'm not sure. Ooh, also, do you think that Kamala Harris would make a good president?
Yes.
Can a woman be president?
Yes.
Can a woman be a doctor?
Yes.
What can a woman not do?
Nothing.
It is.
Because nothing is impossible to achieve. You're always doing something in life.
That is so true.
True.
I'll put a mic drop on there's nothing a woman couldn't do. Good job. See those motivational statements that he just makes? The board, you won't be able to see this, but the board behind me, Gus puts out a motivational statement. He tries to do it once a week. It's been a bit. No, it's okay. And so you're very good. Do you have any motivational statements that come to mind right now?
Sort of.
Come closer to the mic and tell people.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not
Not
today.
really.
No, you don't have one at the moment?
Not really.
Okay.
What do you think you want to be when you grow up, Gus?
Game creator.
A game
Since I
creator.
was in kindergarten, yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
What's your favorite game right now?
Roblox.
Roblox. Yes.
Is that mom's favorite?
No.
No.
What's
It's like
mom's favorite game?
You know, like a Sudoku guy person.
That's a joke. For Mario. I like some of the Mario games.
No.
So
I like.
I know, and you don't like the ones I like. Yeah.
What
like
kind of games?
You that.
What kind of games do you want to make when you grow up?
I've been playing some out, just like
He has been planning them. You have a notebook full of game ideas, right?
yes.
Do you have, well, I don't want you to give away all your trade secrets, but are there any you could share?
Maybe just one.
All right, fine. I'm going to create a game called Livetopia.
Livetopia?
Yes.
What is that?
Adventure sandbox kind of game, kind of like Minecraft,
Okay.
like with more wide options.
More wide options, like
Yeah.
many options?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah, he's known he wanted to be a game creator since kindergarten. He's also had the same girlfriend since kindergarten. He has his whole life planned out ahead of him.
Wow, are you a Virgo?
No, he's a Gemini.
That tracks them.
Supposed to be a Cancer, but he was premature, so he's a Gemini.
I'm living a double life.
Living a double life.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
You're a sweet
What-
angel one moment and a mean little devil the next, right?
Yeah.
Do you like to read?
Yeah, like sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
You've been reading more. What books do you read on your own? What are your favorites?
I do like Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish there'd be like more books though. Only one got released this year.
Yeah.
Like,
You also like Big Nate.
yes.
What about Harry Potter? How do you feel about Harry Potter?
Those books are way too long. Like, I have a Harry Potter book that's 870 pages.
Is a lot, isn't it?
That's a lot.
What do
yeah.
you know about J.K. Rowling? Did I tell you anything about her and why mom doesn't like her? Do you remember?
I forgot.
Did I tell you it was because she didn't like trans
Oh, yeah,
women?
yes.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
She doesn't deserve like that much money.
She has a
She deserves to like make $20 a day at least.
that's
$20
it.
a day. $20 a
At
day.
least.
Yeah.
Like, they still deserve to live. Just
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, she deserves to live.
yeah.
But what do you think about people reading her books, even though she's got some hate in her heart?
I'm pretty sure she is making a lot of money. The books are good. Just like the person who wrote it is not good.
Yeah. How do you balance that out? Because you wanted to be Harry Potter for Halloween, but we also know J.K. Rowling's kind of not a very nice person. So do you think that's okay to be?
I think I'll stick a sticky note on the back of my, the back of my cloak,
Yeah.
saying I hate J.K. Rowling.
That's one way to get the message across, huh? There you go. Well, mom's idea is that we just don't give her any money. So if we don't pay for any of the stuff that gives her money, then
No, there is loads of fan-made stuff with Harry Potter.
yeah,
Mhm.
but the stuff that she gets money on, maybe we just don't buy it.
Yeah.
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 Or you could make your costume instead of buying it. That might be a fun project.
I already have loads of stuff in my
Dress up box?
yes.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, we could make a costume.
Yeah, we definitely could.
Mm-hmm.
So you've had the same girlfriend since kindergarten.
Yes.
What do you like about her?
Her blonde hair, I just love her so much.
And I know you do, and she's very pretty and very nice.
She is really
What are the nicest things about her personality?
how sweet she is. That's a hard word to say with this.
Yeah, I know he's got for listeners, he has a expander in his mouth that gives him a little bit of a lift right now because we're going to braces
Yeah.
tomorrow. But yeah. Okay, so she's sweet. I can say that word for you. What else about her personality?
Nice, kind.
She sounds lovely.
honestly, one of my favorite people in the world. People. That's hard.
You got it. One of your favorite people in the world. I said it funny too. She is awesome. Yeah. He's already figured out his whole life. Did you have this much of your life planned, Taina, when you were
When I
8?
was that young, no.
No,
I
me
still
neither.
don't have some of my life planned.
Yeah. What did you think you would be when you were 8?
I think when I was 8, I wanted to be everything. Like I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a
Firefighter.
singer.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever wanted to be a firefighter.
That sounds too scary.
Yeah. I don't like being
Policeman?
hot. No, never a policeman either.
You said everything.
I know. Maybe I
He-
misspoke. I think I
He's a bit
misspoke.
literal.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a teacher and a dancer when I was 8. I think I'm kind of a teacher, so that sort of happened.
Yeah.
Most certainly not a dancer,
Yeah.
am I?
Most certainly. And I'm not a singer.
No, I'm not a singer, am I? Most certainly not. You're correct about that.
What kind of music do you like, Gus?
I don't know, like, I like all sorts of music.
He listens to a lot of stuff his dad listens to, so like Elton John and Avett Brothers, and what was the one you were singing yesterday when you guys got home from soccer? Can't remember now. Dad said you wanted to turn it up. How's it go? My what? My Mind Set on You by George Harrison. Yeah.
That's all.
He listens to a lot of stuff that we listen to, but you used to like Kids Bop.
Ooh.
But they haven't been, like, releasing, like, albums lately, so it's been going downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember Chapel Rowan? Chotto.
I know, that's a very good song, though.
You don't like it?
You don't like
It's a very good play.
Uh-oh.
It's not very good.
Watch out, because Taina loves Chapel Rowan, so do I.
In my opinion.
Brown's my
Yeah.
favorite. You know what? You get to have your opinion. You get to decide what kind of music
You
you like.
should. What do you wish parents would do differently? Like adults, not just parents. I know. I'm ready. I was going to throw you a hard one. I'm curious what you think adults could do differently. It could be parents or teachers.
Parents, they should, like, step up their games, like give their child a little bit better life. Like
Like what kind? Like in what ways?
if you're an only child, you pretty much get what you want. It's hard to say.
You do pretty much kill
Yeah.
you when you're an only child.
See that?
For the listeners, Gus is an only child.
Yes. Well, technically I'm not. I have a sister, which is my dog.
Well, yeah,
Mm.
technically.
So for children or kids who are only childs, what could the adults in their lives do better to help them?
Actually, I don't really know.
What do mom and dad do right? You can be honest. Because then you can tell me what we do wrong.
I'm thinking.
We don't do anything right? You want to tell us what we do
We
right?
do lots of stuff right. I don't really remember.
Oh, can you think of anything we do wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
No, we're just perfect parents. I don't know that that's true.
Yes, you are.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very sweet.
No one's perfect.
No one's perfect.
perfect.
Exactly.
That's right.
How do you deal with that when you don't get things right, when you're not perfect? What do you do?
Grab an eraser, erase it.
There you go. Sometimes you get frustrated, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang my head against the wall.
Bang your head. So I haven't seen you do that, but you do get frustrated. But that's
I
what.
do at school.
Oh.
I'm normally at desk, but no.
Uh-oh. Well, your new word is perseverance. Don't hit your head on the desk. Oh, my goodness.
Especially not your frontal lobe.
Yeah, please.
It's fine. I have a strong forehead.
Yeah, but
You're very resilient.
What about your brain? Is it strong?
This is strong as like a bricks. It's like a brick.
It is heavy. You know who I think has bricks in their brain? Bricks for brains. Donald Trump. What do you think?
Now he's literally is a brick.
He is a brick?
He is a brick. He's like the same color, same shape. He literally is a brick.
He is a lot
Do you
like
think that he's a good dad?
Donald Trump.
Yes.
No, he's a bad person.
Yeah.
Well, you can do bad things and still be a good parent, maybe.
Out there, you might think he's a good person. Like, I respect your opinion, but still, we don't share the opinion with you. and it's your choice of life.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone has their right to their own opinion.
Yes.
I appreciate that you said that. I think that that is fair.
Yes.
We just don't agree.
Yes, we still agree with you. I think any other topics I can shoot ready?
And I don't know. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't. I said I can't think of any.
Oh, okay. I
Okay.
do.
Can I ask you another question?
All right.
What's the hardest part about being a boyfriend?
Like we don't really see each other much.
So spending time together.
Yes. Like even on rare occasions we only say hi.
Yeah, that's tough. It's hard to have a relationship where you're only saying hi every once in a while, huh? But you guys did have a wonderful date.
Yeah,
That was nice.
we did.
Yeah, we should have another one of those, huh? You do nice and thoughtful things for her sometimes.
Like actually I can't remember.
Well, Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.
You've written her poems. You've gotten her flowers. Those are nice things that people.
Those are sweet things. Yeah.
Oh, I know something else we can ask you about, because this podcast, we talk about business stuff too. And you have had a little business of your own. Can you tell people about what your business is?
Yes, I do run a juice stand like every summer,
Mm-hmm.
like with refreshing drinks,
Refreshing drinks.
you know.
What else do we sell at the
We
juice stand?
sell like cookies, fresh home cookies, banana bread, maybe brownies sometimes
Oh,
too.
we should do that. And what do you sell for flavors of juice?
We sell like watermelon.
Ooh. How do we make it?
We do it fresh puree.
Fresh puree from real live watermelon. That's right.
Watermelon juice is my favorite.
It's a big seller.
Yes, it's the best.
It's very refreshing.
Like last time we did it, we ran out of 3 jugs of watermelon juice.
Wow.
Yeah. How much
It was
money?
the top seller.
How much money did you make last time?
I'm pretty sure it's like 127 something.
A little less than 100. I think it was more like 75 or 80.
No, someone gave me $100 bill.
Okay. I don't remember that, but okay. But you did pretty well. And where does your money go?
In my bank account.
Mm-hmm. Are you saving for something?
Mm-hmm.
What are
What?
you saving for?
1,000.
Saving to get to 1,000? Why?
So when I buy something, like I want a robot, it's small. It costs $500, so then I can have $500 in my bank account once I buy it.
So you want to make sure you save half of your money. Why do we want to do that?
So maybe I can like save it. Actually, I wasn't prepared for that.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe it's just so you have more money in savings for other things,
Yes.
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
never know what you might need in the future. Do you have any business tips for the listeners as somebody who's run a business? What helped you be successful with your juice stand?
Like signs.
Signs.
We did
Marketing.
it on like a garage sale day, like the neighborhood garage sale.
That was really
Oh, that's
smart.
That's
Mhm.
very smart.
So taking advantage of what other people have going on so that you can maximize your sales. That was really smart. And signage so people know that it's happening. Anything else?
Smile on people's face.
Yes, your customer service is like no other, because you love to talk to people, don't you?
Yes, I'm really chatty.
You are really
They're
chatty.
chatty.
So when the customers show up, you talk to them and make them feel special. Yeah, that I think goes a
That's
long way
important.
too. Mhm.
Everybody likes to feel special.
Yeah. I also think the diversity of products and that you do something different, because it's not just your boring lemonade stand. Like, how often do you see watermelon juice stands?
Not very
Never.
often.
Not once.
Never. Exactly. Except
Yeah.
yours. So it stands out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Los Angeles, Gus?
No. I've only traveled to like Texas and Colorado.
Okay. If you ever go to Los Angeles on the weekends, if you go downtown by the flower market, there's juice stands all over, and they have like 20 different kinds of juices that you can buy.
See, you're thinking like a Californian already. You're ahead of the times.
Oh, so I'm thinking like our old neighbors.
Yeah, we had neighbors that moved to California. You are thinking like them. Very progressive. Very smart. Any other business ideas that you have?
The case for leave.
Okay, stop. We don't talk about.
He's still growing up.
We're not going to
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
people.
yeah.
He's still growing up. Yes. Do you have any other business ideas? No, because you keep telling me you want to make more money. You said you want to own a business like mom someday, right?
Someday, yes.
I like a gaming business.
Yeah, something like that.
Why do you want to own your own business instead of work for someone else?
So I can make people happy. Like, I don't want to be like an independent.
You want to be independent?
Yes, something like that.
Do you want to have employees?
I do. Like, I do need some help.
Yeah.
Like if there's new trainees, we can like get people to teach them some stuff. Yes. You know?
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
You know, we're probably gonna have like a big screen like telling us like what game we're making and like what genre, you know, what I think we would need.
And I think that's
Yeah.
all right. Well, buddy, this has been podcasting. This is what it is. Just talking about stuff. Anything else you want to talk about? It doesn't have to be anything big. You
No,
just be
not
info.
really.
No,
Can
is
I
that
ask
all
you
you want to
one
talk
last
about?
question?
That's all you want to talk about.
All right. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Okay. You want to go and do some other stuff, and I'll finish talking to Taina. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody and thanks for listening? Tell them goodbye.
Bye.
Listen,
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
not just her. Tell everybody in the microphone that's listening. The people you don't see. Okay. Bye. All right, you can leave the door open. Thanks. Wasn't that eventful and exciting?
Yeah. I love
There you.
Okay. Shh, go on, please.
I love the way kids' minds work. How they're just like, well, maybe this. Like it's a very organic way of like processing information. It's very refreshing.
Yeah, it's also funny how he clams up a bit when there's like, for some reason, this is, I don't know, some sort of pressure that, because ordinarily be much more talkative. And so interesting to see your kid like doing that.
Yeah.
But I know it's exciting for him because he has dreams of starting his own podcast too.
Yeah. Do you think it's because he could see himself? You know, sometimes like when we know that other people are looking at us, then we perceive ourselves differently.
Probably. Yeah. Doing it by himself, maybe it's best without any vision and jump. But I wonder if even just the presence of the microphone, you know, and just knowing it's not candid. And, you know, it's interesting because I do think that makes us think about just us doing it too and like how self-conscious you are. And these are super informal conversations that you and I have. Even so, we're both aware the fact that we're recording and that some people are going to hear this. And so it's interesting to think about how that shifts the way you show up when you think you're being fully yourself.
Yeah, no. And I was actually just thinking about that earlier today. Like, I was thinking, man, like, it feels like we've gotten, like, we're really good at just talking about things. I feel like we just have like a really good rapport at like discussing things and things like that. But I remember the first few episodes, I felt like internally just like a lot stiffer than I do now when we record. And I think it's that sense of like being watched makes me watch myself. Right. And so if you want to get philosophical, it's, you know.
Well, we might as well at the end of this, since that wasn't the.
Yeah, it's like the whole like Michel Foucault, like, you know, voyeuristic panopticon kind of thing. And so yeah, but I definitely feel more relaxed now. But like the first few episodes, it was like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I may have felt more relaxed because I have another podcast, but even so, I think, I don't know, I still think I can feel myself being, I hate the word professional because that's not it, but just, you know, not as relaxed as I would be if you and I were just at the coffee shop having a conversation.
Yeah.
Which I don't like that. Like, I'd like it to be that informal, but also there's like, you think about overtalk. Where you don't do that in conversation at the coffee shop, and my volume and, you know, am I close enough to the mic, and all that kind of stuff starts to affect how you show up, I think.
Yeah. It's like I had a friend who would say that she cosplays as a human being at work. Right. And so sometimes it feels that way. It feels like, you know, you're like cosplaying a podcaster or cosplaying a business owner or cosplaying a professional, because there's this
like
aspect to it.
Yeah, like I feel like I very much am cosplaying a parent and an adult. Like the fact that I just had my child here, like it's still there. You just think like, wait a minute, I'm responsible. Like I'm the adult in the room. I'm the one that he's going to think of me like I think of my mom or my dad. Like it's just so bizarre to think because there's nothing about me that's shifted. And yet everything's totally different. So yeah, I feel that very much. Like I always feel like I'm cosplaying. When do you feel like you're not?
When I'm alone, sometimes with my wife, most of the time with my wife, but even sometimes with Mello, it's like, because I think when you're in a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or a parental relationship, right? Like you're also constantly thinking about that other person's needs. And so if you're a loving person, if you care about the relationship. And so there are times where I'm just like, I don't want to do anything for you, but I know that you need this. So I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to put my own needs aside in order to help you get what you need in this moment. And that I think on a very technical sense is a performance, right? It's not a bad performance. Doesn't mean that I'm being fake, but there is a performative aspect to it. And I think the only time that I can 100% all of the time not feel like I'm cosplaying is when I'm by myself. And even then, like sometimes I gotta be like, bitch, what are you doing? Like, just chill. Like, just be real for a second. Like, just be honest with yourself,
Yeah, my hotel retreats that I try to do once a quarter, like that's probably the most I feel free, whatever the right word is. Yeah, like that unmasked just myself. But I don't know, it's interesting. I want to think like even in that time, is there still some like, because I'm at a hotel, so I'm not at home, and is that like a different version of me or is it me? I don't know. It's really interesting food for thought to like think about what is the most authentic version of myself. And can you ever really even have that? Or is it always like, because we are like humans are sort of chameleons and some of us are more chameleon like than others, but we are all sort of always adapting to the environment that we're in. And I think even when we're alone, we do that to some degree.
Yeah. I agree as well. And I think, we're complex enough to be able to be all of those things simultaneously or at different times. And I don't think that makes us any less authentic. I think that chameleon-like ability is a survival skill.
For sure.
Right? And so obviously we can exploit that to do harm to ourselves and to others. But if it's not done in an exploitative sense, right, where we're not creating harm, then I think it's just our natural ability to adapt to our circumstances. Like, I think if there was someone who never adapted, that would be frightening to me.
Yeah. That's true, because I think that like being truly fully yourself everywhere, I think that we have seen, I mean, ultimately, I think a lot of times that's the kind of thing that leads someone into getting care. Because, I mean, if I showed up as I walk around talking to myself when I'm alone and like, I don't know. I feel like if I was didn't give two shits about anyone, probably wouldn't be a very healthy way to show up.
Yeah, it's sociopathic.
Yeah, right? Really.
To live that way. Yeah.
Thinking of that again.
Yeah.
So, what'd you think of having the kid on?
He's so delightful. I love kids. I think they're just so, just the energy and the curiosity is, so many adults, we lose that so much, or we don't have as many opportunities to really tap into that as we get older, because the world tries to like fit us into this professional, right? Like kind of skin. And so, he's great. I enjoy
the book. So this book is called Why Does Patriarchy Persist? It's by Carol Gilligan and Naomi Snyder. And I found it super fascinating. It's about like the psychology that perpetuates patriarchy. And as a parent, I thought it was very interesting just to read because he is at one of those key inflection points that this book talks about. Boys, their initial entry into patriarchy, like the psychological conditioning that starts to happen, is in this like sort of 5 to 8 range when they start school, basically. And that is the first time where they start to really, like, as a collective, get the messaging that they're not allowed to have feelings, right? That whole brush it off, get over it. Their friends start to make fun of them. That whole, like, even watching now, some of the boys starting to use this, like, gay as an insult and having discussions, which I never thought I would have. Like, that seemed like something that would have died with our generation. But it's still there. And that, like, you know, these associations of don't be like a girl, right? That's supposed to happen for boys at this age. For girls, their like first real initiation into patriarchy is more like in the 9 to 11, 12 range, where they start to go through puberty and their bodies begin to change. And then they are clearly made to feel very other, and that their body is the thing that matters, and that they're not allowed to be angry, and that they should care for others and those kinds of things. So girls actually get a longer period before their sort of indoctrination into patriarchy. Boys, it starts early, and then they have a second round when they get a little older. And for, I think it was like the late teenage years, where boys are more around like the sexual part of their experience as what it means to be a man. But it's really an interesting read for people who have kids, just to think about, like, and then thinking about, like, how do you combat that? Because it made me think of it, as you were saying, at this age, they're like, it's sort of before patriarchy has fully gotten its claws into them. But then you think, like, I can see it happening. I can see it happening. He has an incredibly feminist mom, feminist dad. Like, we only have so much control, and that's the part that's really hard to recognize.
They spend so much time outside of the home with other people that I don't envy parents, you know, who fight that fight, like, because I know that that's got to be one of the most difficult things that you have to kind of take on as a parent. I wonder, that's really interesting, that book, how like patriarchy for women is like mapped onto our bodies, which, I mean, I guess thinking through everything we know, it makes sense, right? But I wonder, like, how different it is across cultures, right? Because, like, I know growing up, like, even before I was 9, there was this kind of idea of like a difference between boys and girls, and like what girls were allowed to do and versus what boys were allowed to do. And so there was, like, I feel like I always had a sense of like this ghost of a system that was kind of like ruling my behaviors, and like what I could do, what I couldn't do, what I could say, what I couldn't say, like how I was supposed to behave. And so I think it'd be interesting to interrogate that a little bit more.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've read this, so I ought to reread. I mean, it's highlighted to crap, so I
see.
I should go back and reread at least the parts I highlighted to see. I could have a little bit of that wrong, but I think that it is pretty similar to what I said. But I have a feeling it also differs quite a bit by culture and nationality and those kinds of things. And I'm 99.9% certain, if I remember right, that both of these women are white women. And so, you know, there is a good chance that their research is tainted by that as well. So, as with most things, like, know that it's probably written from a particular perspective.
Yeah. And I think that's totally fine. I think the mistake is when people write from a particular perspective and assume that's all the perspectives that there are. You know, like, it's fine if you're doing research just on like white America, like, could say that. What advice do you have for parents who are trying to raise feminist children, if any at all?
I don't know. You know, so I practice what I call intuitive parenting, which is what I've always done, which basically just means I trust that my instincts to protect this and love this child are natural, and that I can trust them and use those as my guide for making decisions. Like, I don't read parenting books. I don't I try not to really rely on what a lot of other people say unless I have a very specific issue that's come up that I'm like, I'm not sure what to do here. And then I will like read certain things to figure out like what people will say are best practices. But in general, I'm like, what feels right? So like I ended up practicing attachment parenting, but without even knowing what that was. But like I responded to my child's every needs for the first 3 years of his life. Like there was no no's or anything. And he's an incredibly well attached child now, which means like if people don't know about attachment theory, he has a very secure attachment. Like he can go anywhere and not be afraid. Like when I was a kid, I was afraid to go anywhere alone or have a sleepover or go to my friends' houses. His first day of kindergarten, he walked right in, didn't even look back, didn't care. Like he just knows he's very protected and safe.
Yeah.
So I think attachment parenting or something like it is, to me, has been valuable. But I think ultimately, I feel like just trust your intuition, right? Like really trust that you know what's best for your child and allow that to be the case. Don't let other people try to convince you that it's supposed to be this way, or I've always done it this way, or you're going to spoil him, or you're going to what? Like, I really don't think that stuff starts to happen until you like, and then if you start to notice this may not be working and give me the results I want, then what feels right now, right? Like that evolves for us. Like he's earning screen time now. He didn't always have to do that, but that's because we've noticed that some of his behaviors have changed a bit as he's getting a little older and having different things. So now we're changing some screen time rules. There was nothing I read that said I need to do that. It just intuitively felt right.
Yeah. How important do you think it is for parents to like be able to identify, like you brought up attachment theory, right? Which you kind of unintentionally did, in taking care of your child. Like, how important do you think it is for parents to not necessarily be able to like have the language of like all these different psychological or like mental health things, but be able to like understand themselves, right? Like,
I think it's super important. And one of the reasons I didn't have a kid until I was 41, like I just can't even imagine the parent I would have been if I had done this at 25 versus now. Like, and all the power to people who have been, whenever you have children, you do the best you can by your children and all of that. Like, not everyone makes that choice or has that choice. And I fully understand that. I was never going to have kids. And I'm glad that I waited till 41 because I'm the best possible version of a parent I can be because I know myself better than I ever have. If I was 80, I'd probably be an even better parent, which is why grandparents being some of the most amazing and loving people, like we look at our own parents and say, why weren't you like that with me? And it's because they have the wisdom of 60, 70, 80 years that allow them to show up differently because they probably very often interrogated so much of their own stuff and made peace with that, grown, learned. I have done so much of that now that I'm better able, not perfect, at being able to recognize when something's getting triggered in me. Like your kid is the most incredible tool for doing self-development work ever. If you go there, because they will trigger every trauma you've had. They will make you think of they will bring you out every automatic trauma response you have. They are going to make you show up and be like, oh my God, I was just like my parent. And I didn't want to be what's going on. Like it is all there. So I think the more that you do that work on yourself, the better the parent you're going to be. Yeah. Otherwise, you're operating out of a system.
Trauma.
Out of trauma. Yeah. And that's where so many people, that's why I don't love a lot of people be like, well, this is how we've always done it in my family. It's like, okay, but is that make it okay? Like, that's just not how, just because that's something that people have always done, everyone's always spanked. Okay, but that doesn't mean that I can't interrogate, does it work? Did I like being spanked? Did it work on me? How did that make me feel? What did it make me think about my parents, right? Like, is that what I want to repeat? I don't know. I think there's a lot to just learning about yourself before you become a parent if you can.
Yeah, we've always done it that way, and that's why we're all traumatized.
Precisely, and that's why it's always amazing to me how people will judge parents, like especially sometimes older people will judge and be like, oh, I can't believe you're spoiling the kid or you're letting them whatever. And it's like, yeah, but I don't want to do that thing you did because that's why I have all this resentment towards you. And why would I repeat that? And I can see parents doing it of this like, well, that's how I was treated or that's the way we did it. We figured it out. And it's like, okay.
Did you?
Do you really want that for your child to be like, well, you'll figure it out. You'll make it through this somehow. Like, no.
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts on that.
He is obviously a very friendly person, and I'm sure he's got like some amazing friends at school. Does he ever hang out with like your adult friends?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the adult friends love him. Everyone loves him, and he's very extroverted. And so he loves socializing far more than I do. I don't know how he's my kid because I'm like such an introvert. He's like the most extreme opposite. Like we're at the two extremes of introversion and extroversion. So he loves to hang out with adults sometimes. But I mean, he much prefers his own friends, which is nice because I don't want him to be like, I remember being that kid that's like, oh, you're an old soul, or you're like, you know, a 50-year-old in a 9-year-old body. And it's like, I don't want that for him.
Yeah. He should enjoy his youth.
And he is. And he's really good at friendships, which is really impressive to me. Going back to our friendship episode where I am an introvert.
We both fucked up.
Yeah. And he's very good at like, I mean, if it were up to him, he will be the kind of person who never leaves his hometown and has the same friends that he had in kindergarten. Now, I don't know that everyone else in his friend group will end up that way, but that would be his choice. He'll marry his high school sweetheart and I kind of hope he has a bigger world than that, but also like I have to respect if that ends up being the way he wants to be, that like that's his path, which is hard sometimes to let your kid have their own path, especially when you're like, I don't know that that's the right path.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you for indulging him and having this episode. I hope listeners didn't find it too torturous to listen to.
No, it was so delightful. And if you found it awful, then you just have hate in your heart. Kids are amazing.
Yeah, but it's also like I get they don't have the fully formed responses and thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes, it definitely takes patience, and so, but I think it's a good exercise for adults to spend time with kids periodically.
Maybe we should do it once a year and we'll check on his progress, see how he ages and how he gets more full in some of these.
Yeah, if he still has the same girlfriend.
I think he will. They're actually engaged, just so people know.
Oh my God.
So he proposed and she said yes. They were going to have a wedding on the playground, but the principals didn't let them. So the wedding's on hold, but it's quite the commitment. It's, I think, a bit more on his end than hers. I'm so worried for him getting his heart broken at some point in life, but he loves big.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. Yeah.
Very good. Well, anyway, thank you for indulging everyone. Thank you for listening. Yes. And we'll be back again next week talking about some more random ass shit.
Yes, we will.
Thanks for listening to Messy Liberation.
Will you please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen?
I know people say that all the time, and if you're like me, often you just go on to the next podcast, but truly, taking that moment to do that will really help us reach a wider audience.
Thank you so much for your support and for listening today.
Until next time.